Welcome, I'm Kenneth Andre, Tengu Jitsu Master and Mystic Messenger. Everything that I share and say and do is for a reason. Now, Steve Fletcher, 222 Watchman channel, shared this post with us. He mentioned about the Devil Comet on its approach on the 2nd of June. It will be about 144 million miles away, and mentioning the 144,000 number. Then he mentions about the Lamb and the 144,000. Then I looked, and behold, on Mount Zion stood the Lamb, with him the 144,000 who had his name and his father's name written on their forehead. Now remember, I gave you the scripture, give you a Bible verse where I mentioned the rivers of the Lamb come from within us. It literally tells us this in scripture. Now bear this in mind. Over the past 3 days, I've been receiving the symbol of the eye. In my kitchen, my son drew this on the board, an eye. And I saw another eye in the kitchen. My sister messaged me twice talking about an eye. This morning I get up and the first thumbnail I see is this. Alright, 44. An eye. Okay. I'm going to share this with you. In this Egyptian hieroglyph, all right, you see the eye. As within, so without. Look at the two bowls. Right, this is mind, consciousness, imagination, the flowing of thought to the pineal gland. Okay, and as within, and you are planting your seeds in subconscious, so without. This is the Alpha and Omega. All right. Okay, that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm going to keep this really basic. I'm not going to break that down. There's so much more in that image. I'm just giving you a basic introduction into, again, the Egyptian hieroglyphs, which I have been doing now for a while throughout my videos. So listen to this. Proverbs 20:12. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord have made even both of them. All right. 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Okay, the subconscious, the mind. Now remember, the word is in our heart and on our tongue. We are the temple of God. Jesus Christ is in the middle. He's the Alpha and Omega. This is all going on in the temple of God. As we are told in scripture, man is the image of God. Yet God, as we are told in scripture, is the invisible. He is light. He is spirit. He is love. He is mercy. He's intelligence of the highest kind. He's omnipresent, omniscient. Okay, he's the all in all. We live and move and have our being in God and God in us. And it's important to get knowledge, to get wisdom, to understand this, that we would come into truth and move forward into a wonderful future that will prosper us, that we would escape all the horrors that comes down in this world, especially if you don't get your house in order. For he says, judgment must begin at the house of God, and we are that house. Okay. Matthew 12:33. Neither make the tree good and its fruit, either make the tree good and its fruit good, and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt, and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit. His fruit. You notice there's a kind of agenda going on with a tree. This tree, the tree where the tree of knowledge is, the tree of life. Okay, the tree that was cut down to a stump, where the root of Jesse, which means I am, sprouted from. Okay. O generation of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh, and a good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. And we are in the season of harvest, known as the last day approaching, because it's the end of the cycle. For by your words you shall be justified, and by your words shall you be condemned. I also make you aware, every prayer that you do in your secret place, you are condemned by it. All right. So make sure you have no hidden motives and approach your prayers in the absorption of a wish fulfilled, in the assumption, which is part of the crown of mysteries. Really plant them seeds in the garden. Okay. Be in the field with the Father. Do the pruning with the Father, that which you don't like, and plant them seeds. All right. Now, with knowledge and wisdom going through a process, the Garden of Eden should be restored. He makes known the end from the beginning. What was the beginning? The Garden of Eden. We were all cut down. It was all destroyed. And we go through a process with Spirit being called by name to rebuild this garden. All right. Okay. Jeremiah 17:10. But I, the Lord, seek all hearts and examine secret motives. I give all people their due reward according to what their actions deserve. Now, I've heard this before, this language before. Let's move on to the next verse. Revelation 22:12. Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me. And remember, he's in us. The great mystery revealed unto the saints that was hid throughout the generations, the Christ in us. And I will give to each person according to what they have done. Okay. Now, there's two layers to this. It's the works that you've done with the Father, the potter at the wheel, let your hand not be idle, and the good works that you've done, the righteous acts. Now, remember, sin means to fall short. Righteousness, knowing that you already possess it all. But to enter the kingdom, you must be a servant first, as revealed to us by Jesus. So there is an application, a proper way of approaching, should we say, your interaction with your external environment, because it is connected to that which is within. Be aware of that. Okay, so let me pause it there. So I've said in my recent videos that we are going to have a visit from Father, from Spirit. Okay, and he's going to seek the hearts and minds of men. And we are in the time of harvest, the tares and wheat. Okay, for the harvest is for the angels, as revealed to us in the Bible, whereby there's going to be a separation of the tares and wheat, and you're going to be ushered into a wonderful future that prospers you. It says it's not my will to hurt you, but to give you a wonderful future that will prosper you. Well, when you understand the nature of this world, when there's only trouble, weeping and gnashing of teeth, okay, you're going to come into the realization that this wonderful future is your eternal heavenly home, created with the Father, not made of human hands. Okay, this is going to be a mystical transformation that occurs. Okay, I've also mentioned the Southern Cross, the the Southern Cross constellation is now rising. This is part of the resurrection of the 144,000, because many of us are being ripped to pieces and broken through the atonement, through our awakening. To my mind, what is next is restoration, a wonderful future, and it's going to be mystical, and your lives will change. The living waters from the fountain, he says, let him who is thirsty come and drink from the fountain of living waters. The rivers from the Lamb is from within us, as revealed in Scripture. We are in that time, okay? Any moment now, even up to this, a celestial event that's about to take place on the 3rd of next month. Bear that in mind, okay? I've shared with you this image, right? Venus is actually in the sun, in this hieroglyph, all right? The tail is pointing at the sun. The bull's leg is pointing at its ribs. It's indicating there's going to be a solar flare, okay? And we've had a foreshadowing of that already. I also mentioned this is the pineal gland, and he's looking down, all right? This is what's coming down from above. And this is going to be a signal, a light, a spectre, a different spectrum. We've played in the spectrum through these ages in a world of darkness, deception, lies. Playing as the first man, Adam, Cain, in the land of Nod. But we flipped to the heavenly being. And so this frequency, energy, vibration that's coming down is going to activate our pineal glands. I can look at it kind of like a shout, a trumpet, okay? However, I'm also aware that any moment now, things can start changing just because of the Scripture that I know, okay? So we are told to keep watch in the season. Watch, watch, watch. Okay, let me get the next image. Okay, so in this harvest, there is a relocation of souls. We're all about to be shifted, all about to be translated. Okay, it was written in the stars. There is blessings and curses. The same in the Scripture. If you turn away from this world and your religious indoctrination, the belief systems of this world, and really seek the depths of God with all your heart, soul, and mind, okay, unlearn everything and relearn again, but in spirit and in truth, not the hearing of man, but of spirit, then there is blessings. But if you do everything in accordance with the screen, the outside world, you're going to be deceived, which will bring about curses, okay? And the bowls of wrath are being filled up, okay? There's been these celestial events, harbingers, etc. Many of us are turned to the potter at the wheel. We are as clay in God's hands. When I learned of this many years ago, I did the works within here. Okay. Again, Taurus, the bull. Okay. Notice it's on a table. All right. I'm just sharing this image with you. Remember, everything that I share and say and do is for a reason. Remember, precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, symbol upon symbol, video upon video, okay? It will help with revelation. There's the eye on a table, okay? This is not bull worship. This is understanding the celestial symbolic language that is describing the framework of the spirit man that's in us. There's 3 verses. Did you invest in the spirit man? Okay, this is all part of forming the Christ in us. Manuel, the child received. I travel with you again in birth until Christ be formed in you. Now, we are also receiving this the symbol of a birth, okay, and the hummingbird, joy, in connection with booties and Arcturus. Again, pointing to joy, happiness, etc. The birth, when the child is birthed, it's caught up. If you know your scripture, as soon as it sort of gives this imagery that when the birth takes place, the child is already in maturity. It becomes a son, which emulates the father. Okay. I think I've already mentioned in my previous videos the actual, should we say, the understanding of being called a son. All right. In the Hebrew traditions, when you are called a son, it's because you're an adult, and hence you are referred to as a son because you are like that which is the father. All right. I think I've mentioned this in my previous videos. I'm not going to get into all that. Hence, we also have this language when the child is caught up and it's birthed and caught up. It's mature even up before this actually happens. It sounds strange, but it's an allegory, okay? Because we've been through a process. We've been baptized in the furnaces of affliction through fire, the baptism of fire, coming out of the furnace of affliction, okay? Now, there's this image, stargate, a portal, a door. It's here, okay? The new heaven and earth that comes down to us, the Father that comes down to us, remember, he's at the door. We've opened the door to the Father. And then the living waters, the clear waters. We are the fiery beings on the sea of glass, seeing clearly, okay? After coming out of the furnace of affliction, our feet are as brass. Our spines is the rod with the brass serpent on it. We have sewn heaven and earth together with the needle, with the serpent through it, as Anna says, bless her, which is also reference to the sword of truth, and it's double-edged, as I've mentioned in my previous videos. So the works have been done within. We are the heavenly beings now, the heavenly man, Adam, a new creature and a new creation, and creation is eagerly waiting the sons of God. And so now we are in a particular state. And I mentioned we should be in a particular state before the luminaries got past the M33 constellation. Now they're in Taurus. And we have this big celestial event taking place on the 3rd next month. And I showed you the hieroglyph where there's like a ringing of a bell. There's a signal or vibration that's going out, and it could be hitting the pineal glands. Again, another symbol connected with this is booties are cutting away, cutting the umbilical cord. I don't know if I said that right. That's going to do. I'm not going to film this again. Oh no, I hate when I can't get my words out. So yeah, we are giving a sign that there's a door opening up in heaven. But that's for signs. The firmament declares the glory of God's handiwork. What we see up there is going on in here. Which brings me to this image. I'll just pause that. Okay. This was a star map, a stargate, the same one between the eyes, okay, but we see it in the heavens. It's a countdown clock. Okay, here's booties with the knife and the plough. The bull's leg, which is Pleiades. Free the captives. Okay, this is signalling a celestial event and a door, as I mentioned in my previous videos. There is a sudden transformation about to occur with your life, whether it be bad or good. The souls are all going to be relocated in their revenant places. He says, I have many mansions. If it was not so, I would have told you. These are the mansions. Did you get your house in order? Jesus Christ is coming to reward all those who have done the works. Okay, we are in the season of harvest. It's upon us. Watch, watch, watch. I'm Kenneth Andre, Tenjutsu Master and Mystic Messenger. Love you guys. Have a good day.